welcome back, everybody. This is part two of our master's seminar book review on civic engagement and youth online and the teaching implications, excuse me. And again, my book was Civic Life Online.
And mine was Youth Identity and Digital Media.
So Civic Life Online looks at how online access relates to real-world politics. Youth are growing up with substantial amounts of their time spent online. So how do online communities and youth participation translate into civic and political engagement? Do protests and gaming communities of fan petitioning of music companies represent political behavior? Do communication skills and patterns of action developed in these online activities transfer to offline spheres such as voting in public? Protests. Youth do make contributions to society, but in different ways than previous generations, and they are finally being recognized, as Amanda was saying in part one, at least in part. And with this series on digital literacy and education, these places are being recognized. So as politics get negative, youth become more and more disenchanted and are beginning to take their activism, political and civic lives to online spaces. This type of civic engagement has become a massive social movement created by a public voice united online. And a quote from the book, "Moving from a private voice to a public voice can help students or anyone else turn their self-expression into a form of public participation." So why civic engagement, you may ask? Well, because institutions work better when everyone, including youth, participate, and social outcomes are more likely to be fair when that participation is equitable. So youth are reclaiming their public voice and social participation through sites such as takingitglobal.org, which we will include a link to. And according to Civic Life Online, this particular site grew from the recognition that youth are not apathetic about social issues, rather they lack access to appealing forms of engagement. So takingitglobal.org is a place where youth can take action on culture and identity, human rights and equity, peace, conflict, anything at all. And there's interests and action that are key to the site, as well as other public online sites for youth, and the ways that they can, be active and have interest are by members being informed on issues, and also it gives them a space to discuss issues that are of importance to them. They can attend rallies and protests, organize rallies and protests, and vote in elections. So it's supportive, it's motivating, and it allows for organization of real-world action.
This is an important space online, this and other sites like it, because increasingly young people have lost their social arenas. There's been like a disenfranchisement of youth from the social culture of American society. They used to hang out at the corner burger joint, at the drive-in movie theater, and then 20 years later it was like the shopping mall, but now there are no drive-in movie theaters. The burger joints are all McDonald's, and the malls have security guards that kick you out if you're more than a group of 3 under the age of 18. And so this social digital space that the internet provides youth is deeply important for both identity construction and learning how to be engaged with other members of society.
Yeah, and on that note, I think we're going to move right into teaching implications, as we're both pre-service teachers.
I've got a quote from the text that I read. "Self-styled digital practices are rather different from the processes of learning in most classrooms. In the classroom, learning is at best a result of teaching where pupils know what to learn, but not always why such knowledge matters. By contrast, through their engagements with digital media in their leisure time, young people experience the fact that learning can be different from being taught at school." And this really speaks to students know why they're learning something. When they're in an online community and they ask a question, they have a purpose, they have a process they want to complete themselves, and they really have something in mind for their own learning. It's like social constructivism at work every day online.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing to be a part of. So there's a growing movement of youth who are informing themselves and becoming active social citizens, and this is all happening online. So future and present educators need to tap into these resources that have been vastly overlooked and neglected in our educational practices and instruction. And another quote, "Educators have an opportunity to encourage young media makers to exercise active citizenships, so to nourish youth mastery seeking via their being active creators as well as consumers of culture. So in summary, we'd like to leave you with this last little quote from Civic Life Online. When youth are engaged on their own terms, we, the researchers in the MacArthur Foundation, as well as Amanda and I, strongly believe that the future of young people and positive change in the world will be bright. Thank you for listening.